sliceofscifi.com.
Hey Slice of Sci-Fi fans, I'm Zoe Hewitt and you would not believe where we are tonight. You've been waiting for it, I've been waiting for it. Game of Thrones is about to premiere and you guys, we've got the best and the brightest. We have the entire cast. Well, not the entire cast, there are hundreds of them, but we've got the main cast here tonight to talk to you all about what's coming up in the next season. Stick with us as all week long we'll be talking to the cast. We did miss Sophie. Is there any? So there is so much exciting happening with season 3. The trailer looks amazing. Now, I'm sure you're going to avoid, but what do you think fans are going to love the most about this new season?
Oh, I think the fantasy element, that's kind of coming in a lot stronger now. Yeah, and I'm excited to see it. I don't know about everyone else, but yeah, I want to see what's going to happen. I mean, the dragon poster is like driving me crazy. I just want to know. So yeah.
And we're actually Slice of Sci-Fi, so sci-fi and fantasy, you know, all rolls into one. What do you think fans, why do you think fans are so attached to this show?
I think because of all the different genres, we kind of group it together as a fantasy, but it's not. It's got everything in there. There's love, there's gore, there's, you know, comedy at points. I think there's so much in there for everyone that there's always something for people to enjoy, and you know, they might only watch it for one person's storyline or whatever, but they're watching it and they're enjoying it, so you know, it's great.
Well, other than your storyline, is there one that you particularly love in the show?
I really like Daenerys' storyline. I think she's really kick-ass, and you know, she's got a lot to do. She rides horses and stuff.
She loves them all, like, for their individuality. I can tell you the one that isn't her favourite.
She gets to wear cool clothes and have really nice hair and stuff, so that'd be a cool character to also play.
Well, within your character, I mean, there's so much like action. Do you do a lot of like training, and do you go home bruised?
Well, when I'm at home, I do a lot of dancing anyway, so that kind of keeps me fit. And sometimes, yeah, you get cuts and bruises and stuff. Nothing like ever drastic or anything serious, but yeah, sometimes I cut some bruises. You get splinters, which are really sore.
It sounds like a hazardous job.
Yeah, but it's fun, so you know.
Now, with season 3 coming up, do you read the books? Have you read ahead to know where things are going?
I know what happens to Arya, but it's because my mum and my stepdad have read the books and they've told me what's happening. But I know that in the books, Arya never even met Tywin, and last year we had a lot of scenes together, so it kind of changes, I think. But yeah, I know roughly what happens to her, and it's nice to just get the scripts through and know exactly what you're going to be doing instead of maybe getting your hopes up for different things or whatever.
Well, then, is that one of the reasons that you think fans have not spoiled what's coming ahead? Because even though the books are out, they're not exactly what happens within the show.
Yeah, I think exactly. Like, I wouldn't want to ruin. Well, I say that, but maybe I would. I don't know. But I wouldn't. I'd like to think that I wouldn't want to ruin it for myself. And if you know you enjoy the show, you just want to know what happens through that. And then I think after all this finishes, I'd love to read the books because that's where it all kind of started from, and that's the inspiration for this all. So yeah.
Well, one last question for you: is all of this just completely like a blur for you? That you started on the show and now it's, I mean, it's just huge. Did you ever even imagine that you'd have millions of fans worldwide?
Yeah, like 4 years ago, like 2 years ago, I was stood here and looking, going, whoa, this is lovely. Wouldn't it be nice to go inside? And then 2 years later, I'm here again being interviewed by people, and I'm going to go inside and they're going to watch myself on the screen, or we did last night anyway. But, you know, it's kind of crazy. And yeah, so exciting. I've had a really great time. It's been such a great roller coaster. And I'm excited for more to come.
Definitely. Well, we're excited for you. Thank you so much. You have a great night. Likewise.
And the effect that it has on her family. And she gets darker.
Because her brother, Michelle's son.
You were so confident going in, and then she just...
Now, do you have a lot of fun on set with all the excitement, all the adventure and action?
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of fun on set. It's a very happy unit. Very, very happy unit.
And is there anything in particular that stands out when thinking about fun that you have behind the scenes that other people wouldn't know about?
I don't know if I can say this.
You can say anything.
Well, we all stay in the same hotel, and so we just have great fun in the hotel. Incredible fun. It's a lot of socializing involved and discussing your character, the scene you're about to do the next day. We're incredibly committed and serious.
I see, very serious. Well, then, other than your storyline, is there one that you think is a particular favorite of yours?
I love the Brienne and Jaime Lannister storyline. I think that's a fantastic one. I mean, the Lannisters intrigue me, full stop, because they're such a dysfunctional family. And they're amazing characters. Really, really fantastic. And they make really good drama. Yeah.
Everyone makes good drama on this show. And what's so interesting, too, is that the characters have multiple sides to them. It's not just all good or all
Nobody
bad.
is what they seem. And everybody keeps learning in order to survive in this world, because life is so cheap that they have to keep morphing into somebody else in order to survive.
And do you think that's one of the things that makes fans so intent on this show?
I think it's one of them, absolutely, totally. Apart from the incredible production values that there are in the show, it's a visual treat. It looks extraordinary.
And we're actually talking
the
about
stories are,
we're typing as
what's amazing is the audience never get ahead of the television program. They're constantly surprised. And that's a very clever thing to do.
Definitely. Well, with the dragons coming up in season 3, do you think there's going to be like a big surprise that fans weren't expecting with that in particular?
Well, we don't know yet because we haven't seen it, so and we'll be watching along with everybody else, you know.
So, but you were there filming.
No, not with the dragons.
Well, you mean they didn't bring real dragons to set?
No, they were too busy. They were on another movie.
That Kit was working on, from what I understand, with How to Train Your Dragon too. Well, thank you so much, Michelle. You have a good night.
Thank you very much.
I loved your corned beef question. That was so funny. The brother between you. I'm Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
We're Slice of SciFi. Now, why do you think the show appeals to such a broad audience, not just sci-fi or fantasy fans?
Because I think it's very, despite the fact that we have dragons, I think it's very relevant to what's, politically and family dynamics, or it's an epic tale told on a very intimate level, and I just think that really, that type of storytelling touches the nerve. I don't know why people can, I never know what the popular taste is going to be. I never know if something that I really love will be loved by everyone else, but this definitely has hit a nerve. I think that's what it is. I think it's everybody, there's very different families on this show, and occasionally a dragon swoops by. We have our cake and we can eat it too on this one. So.
You can have cake, but not if it's made of meat, right? You're a strict vegetarian, from what I understand?
Yeah. Very unlike the show I'm on. I have to really, the prop people, the people who do the amazing cuisine on our show always have to sort of take a left turn when it comes to me. You'll see me faking it quite a bit when it comes to those big, dinners that we have on the show.
So they're not tofurkeys, you just fake the eating part?
No, they hook me up. It's pretty good. They have to go, pretty far in Belfast, Northern Ireland, to find the vegetarian stores, but it's okay.
I imagine so. Well, thank you so much.
Okay,
I know you need to
thank
get going. 4 guys, they break dance like a little bit down like still on this block. Zoe, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So, leading into season 3, you are essentially a hostage right now. Will you be saved in the next season?
Well, I'd like to see her saved, definitely. I mean, she's a total hostage, so it'll be pretty difficult for anyone to get around Cersei and Joffrey, but I mean, if they do, congratulations to them, because that's pretty hard. I'd like to see her escape, and I think that's what she wants in this season. That's what she's driven by, escape, and to see her family.
And so, do you get a lot of action? Like, will you be escaping?
Well, I don't know. I mean, she could kick some butt this season. I don't know. Seems kind of unlikely, though, doesn't it? Sansa kicking butt in like her long dresses.
Nothing's ever unlikely in this show. Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, anything can happen.
Very true.
Ned could rise up from the dead or something. I don't know. Anything can happen.
Well, that's I think what fans love so much, that there is nothing that's sacred in this show.
Oh yeah, I mean it's totally unpredictable. So, I mean fans should be prepared for a shock this season.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
But that's not such a surprise, because just going into this season, we know there are going to be lots of shocking things, especially these dragons coming up. How do the dragons factor in?
I mean, the dragons have always been a big part of, Daenerys' life, so following Daenerys' storyline, I mean, the dragons are going to be a huge part of it, so hopefully we'll see some really cool stuff with them.
Now,
the
I hear...
CGI is amazing.
So have you seen it? Because I've asked a couple of people who said they have not actually seen the dragons yet. Have you actually seen them?
What, in real life, dragons don't exist? I mean, I've seen, when you're on set and you hear people talking about it, and then they're like, this is what, sketches and stuff. So we'll see what it looks like on screen.
Now, you're very good at avoiding questions. You've been trained very well, clearly. Do you practice this with friends as well? Because are all of your friends saying, tell us what's happening in the next season?
No, my friends just don't care. My friends are like, I don't care about you working. So, I don't know. I think it's because I'm really passionate about the show that I don't want spoilers to be revealed. I haven't had specific training. We don't go to classes with David and Dan where they're like, okay, I'm gonna read off a reel of questions.
I'm so disappointed now.
I know. You'd think we were super highly trained, but no, it's just me,
Well, one last question for you. Why do you think the show appeals to such a broad audience? It's not just the typical sci-fi fan and fantasy fans.
But I think it's because first there's something for everyone. There's fantasy, there's sex, there's fighting, there's true emotions. And then the other element is the fact that although it is fantasy, it's kind of drip-fed the fantastical kind of elements. So it still feels human and relatable rather than just a totally magic show. There are human emotions, and that's what makes it, so interesting.
Definitely. Well, I know we're really excited for season 3. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Likewise. Bye-bye. So, we're Slice of Sci-Fi. What do you think appeals to fans, not just of the sci-fi or fantasy genres, but across the broad spectrum about the show?
Well, I think that was a big one. I think because HBO have never done a fantasy series before, we had to cater for a fantasy audience, but also kind of win over an HBO audience. HBO audiences, especially people who like HBO drama, like deep psychology and intense relationships. So the good thing was that those were already set out in the books. That's the foundation for the series that George set out, so we didn't really have to think about that, luckily. But I think that we're kind of spoiled that we have things that can appeal to people who like epic, sweeping things, but it also appeals to people who like the psychology of relationships and family troubles and things that everybody can relate to.
Definitely a broad spectrum. So have you read ahead? Have you read the books to know what's going to happen, or do you stick with your scripts?
I have read the books. I was reluctant to do it for the first couple of seasons because I didn't want to get attached to anything that wouldn't actually come off in the final edit, if you like. But I have read all the books now, but I did deliberately miss out some Samwell chapters because I just don't want to cloud my performance now. I want to discover things as Samwell discovers them. I'm surprised by turns of events that Samwell would be surprised by. It's good for my process.
Oh, I like that, that you can. So are your friends and family, do they always come to you and say, what's happening next, what's going to happen? Or do they like to be surprised the same way you do?
Yeah, I think that one thing that I have in common with a lot of my friends is probably why they are my friends, is that they do like narrative, and they do like plot, and they like to be surprised by things. So it's a balancing act between wanting to know and also desperate to not know. So they can change from day to day. I've really got to walk that tightrope with them,
Definitely. It's like reading to the end of a mystery book, right?
Exactly, yeah. Except the end of this mystery isn't finished yet. So even we don't know. That's the thing.
So it's always a surprise for you. So we understand season 4 is being written right now. Do you have any hopes for what's going to be coming in season 4?
Well, I'm not too sure how it's going to differ from the books. You can read, especially Sam can read, an actor playing Sam can read the next 2 books and be very, very excited about certain journeys that are going to take place and certain events that are going to happen. Certain little bits of twists and turns that are going to be a pleasure to live out. You know, we can't get too attached to things like that because David and Dan have got a certain amount of material to get into 10 hours, and stuff that you're really attached to might not be there in the end. So, yeah.
Well, definitely. Well, I'll let you get inside. I know it's late. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Have a wonderful night. He's a popular guy, I know. Right, peace out, sci-fi fans. So the show is so popular across so many different genres. What do you think makes it appeal to fans who love everything from sci-fi to fantasy to romance, everything?
It doesn't miss anything. You know, it's so extreme and yet incredibly contemporary, even though it's fantasy. I mean, I love the show as a fan. I'm so happy I'm not in most of it because I get to watch it.
So is it hard then when you get the scripts to not like quickly flip ahead and really like?
Because I read them obviously, so I'm like, really? Oh my God. But then I think I can't wait to see, you know, because the actors are phenomenal. David and Dan are brilliant, and you know, everybody that makes everything come to life is invested, and I think that's what people feel as well, the genuine love and commitment everybody has to this. So I read it and then I think, oh, I just know, you know what I mean? Like last night we saw the first episode and obviously you see everything you're not in, and I'm like,
well, that's really wonderful. You know a show is wonderful when the actors in it are such huge fans of it as well.
And I don't even have to lie.
Even better. Now, do your friends and family come to you and say, come on, you can tell us what's happening? And how do you divert that? That's true, you're the villainess on the show. You're a dangerous person to know. Are your friends a little scared of you now?
So they should be. I've been waiting for this all my life.
Now, what countries do you film in predominantly?
Belfast. You know, I kind of read, I'm like exterior. I go to Croatia, you know what I mean? I like the exterior because I know I'll be warm.
I like that. That's what you go by if you're going to be warm or not.
2 days in Croatia. That's nice.
So are you used to seeing them the same, like people at the same hotels where you go constantly then?
Yes, I mean we are kind of like a tag team of wrestlers. It's like literally like, oh, what's up in lifts, kind of coming in and out of bars maybe occasionally. You know, in the trailers and work, you know, it's just constant. But I think we all kind of love each other. It's just a big team, and everyone does such a great job.
Well, clearly, and it seems like it's, you know, such a nice group. Well, we're looking forward to season 3 very much. So, thank you very much. Have a great night.
I know what's happening.
Hi, I'm Zoe. We're with Slice of SciFi. It's nice to meet you as well. So you're like the go-to dragon guy with How to Train Your Dragon 2 coming up in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about dragons? You're the expert.
They're very different dragons, the ones in Thrones and the ones on How to Train Your Dragon. You know, one's a slightly more, maybe a softer type of dragon than the ones in Thrones. What I can tell you is that the dragons in Thrones look incredible. I mean, both the projects I'm in have got amazing graphics and amazing CGI. And I think, yeah, that's what I can tell you about dragons. They look very real in both these things.
So what are fans going to love this season about Game of Thrones and the dragons in particular?
Well, it's always to talk about dragons again, but they are going to love them. Like, whoever's done the CGI, the company that's done the CGI deserve an award. They're incredible. They're going to love this season because it's more of the same, and there's some big shocks. There's more kind of gruesome death, more sex, and more of the same. But it goes further, and they've spent more money on it, and it looks more impressive. And we get better even more quality actors in.
Well, it's hard to believe with all the quality that's going on, even more quality. I mean,
I know, it's going like that. I don't know when it's going to go like that.
No, it's never going to do that.
Keep it that way.
Definitely, you guys have so many fans. So I also understand that you bulked up a bit for Gladiator Gladiator role coming up.
Trying to, yeah. Got to eat a lot of food.
So what's your diet like to bulk up?
Steak and eggs and steak. Lots of rice, lots of bread. Protein shake. And this has taken me out of my training a bit. So after I've done the press of the thrones, I've got to get back to the gym.
So no cake afterwards tonight to celebrate?
Oh, I'm allowed to eat cake. I'm allowed to eat anything I want. Yeah, and too much of it. I've got to eat till I feel sick. Horrible.
It sounds like a good diet. Eat all you want?
Trust me, try it. You have to. It's not fun.
I guess because it has to turn to muscle, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I know you need to go in. It was nice to meet you.
Ultimately, what's going to happen to her?
I like the dress of the wait, which one is that? Maisie. That's me. Yeah. Hi, George. I'm Zoe.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I love your hat. My grandfather has one just like it. I love it.
A Greek fisherman.
Yes.
Is your grandfather a Greek fisherman?
No, but they went on a Greek cruise, and he wears it. I love it. So anyway, I've got to ask you, how is the progress on book 6 right now?
Well, I'm working on it, but I'm also working on my script for season 4. So I'm juggling the two of them and making progress. The script for season 4 should be finished very soon. The book 6 is not going to be finished so soon, since it's like 1,400 pages longer. So it's going to take me a while, but I hope to be finished more quickly than the last couple books.
Well, proportionally, how many pages into book 6 are you?
I don't know. I haven't really counted. Maybe I'm about a quarter of the way done or something like that.
Well, that's pretty good progress.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Well, when you started with book 1, did you ever imagine you'd be adapting these into television screenplays as well?
No, just the opposite. I thought these were unfilmable when I started, and they were just too big. There were too many characters. They were too expensive, and so I thought this is the last thing. Of all the things I've written, this was the last thing that would ever be adapted. So it just goes to show you that nobody knows anything out here in Hollywood.
That's so true. So when you found out that they wanted to make a TV show of it, and on HBO, which is known for putting money and time and effort into their series, what was your reaction?
Whoopee.
Was it that calm?
No, I was pretty happy. It didn't all happen at once. It was step by step. When the books first started hitting the bestseller list, that got the attention of a lot of people in Hollywood. And I got a number of inquiries about making it into feature films, which I didn't think could be done. They were simply too big. But it got me thinking about how to do it. And I said, the only way to do it is for a series, a season for each book, for someone like HBO, because there's too much adult content to put it on CBS or ABC or one of the broadcast networks. And then my agent set up a meeting for me with David Benioff and Dan Weiss, who had the same approach, and we had a great lunch, and the rest is history here. They took it from there and sold it to HBO. So it was a series of steps.
Well, what a dream, and I mean, it's such a beloved show and book series. I mean, how do you think it is that fans don't spoil the series? Is it because you make the scripts just slightly different?
Well, some of them do spoil the series. You have to be careful if you're just watching a series and haven't read the books of where you go online. Because if you go into the wrong website or the wrong blog, you will encounter spoilers. So the new fans have to be careful of that. It's been fascinating, that I have, two entirely different groups of fans now. The people who came to the books first and have been reading the books for years and are now watching the series, and the people who saw the TV show first and then went out and bought the books. So, and they sometimes have very different reactions to the same material, and that's been fascinating to observe.
That is fascinating that they would react completely differently.
Well, the people who read the books first are much more sensitive to departures from the books and to anything that's changed.
Yeah.
And while the TV series fans are less so.
Do you notice that either group of fans is more vocal about their support?
They're both vocal in their own way. They have spirited debates about what's good and what's bad.
Well, it must be so wonderful to have created that entire world and all those debates. Really fantastic. Congratulations. One last question for you.
Sure.
You are known for killing off major characters. You're writing season 4 right now, you said. Can we get a little bitty hint? Slice of Sci-Fi fans want to know who's dying.
Well, you know, many people die in the books. So most of the people who die in the books are still going to die in the TV series. However, David Benioff and Dan Weiss are even more bloody than I am. They're killing people in the TV show who are still alive in the books. So on the TV show, really no one is safe. You can't even say, wow, this character makes it all the way to book 5 in the books. So, you know, he or she still may die in the TV series. I think that's the way to keep the actors in line if they want to raise, you know. No one is safe.
Plus, it sounds like you're shirking responsibility. I wouldn't have killed you off,
Exactly. I'm the nice guy. They're the bad guys.
Well, it sure sounds like you're a nice guy. Well, thank you so much. Have a great night.
Much. It was a pleasure.
Likewise. Hey, Slice of Sci-Fi fans, Season 3 is just beginning. But look who won the Game of Thrones. Pretty comfy.
SliceofSciFi.com